What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the Crazy X channel. Today we're going to be looking at your guys' opinions on the top 10 hurricanes of all time. But before we get started, make sure to click that subscribe button down below because I am trying to become the #1 most subscribed to hockey content page on YouTube in the state of North Carolina. All right, guys, so as you guys saw in the Google form that we sent out quite a long time ago, we gave out a list of what we deemed to be the top 10 Hurricanes players of all time in no particular order. Well, actually, I have the order listed here. Jack, who do we have on the top 10 list? And just give me a random order. We don't want to spoil anything.
All right, so on our top 10 list, we have Jacob Slavin, Erik Cole, Eric Staal, Justin Williams, Ron Francis, Sebastian Aho, Jordan Staal, Cam Ward, Rod Brind'Amour, and Glenn Wesley.
So, right now is your chance. Let us know in the comments down below who you think is the #1 Hurricane of all time. It might not be who you think it is. The results might shock some people. So we're going to go in descending order here. So we're going to start with number 10 and work our way up to number 1. And at number 10, kind of surprising, but not really, with an average score of 7.685. We have your current captain, Jordan Staal.
Looking at the list, I mean, there are some players that I could say could go below him. I think this has got to be at least some recency bias, though, if we're being honest, because Jordan Staal has fallen off of a cliff, and Canes fans that didn't experience, the pre-playoff era don't know the full, concurrency of Jordan Staal. So I can understand that.
Yeah, that's probably true. And even now, I mean, Jordan Staal is not a bad player, but I mean, when the other 9 guys on this list are who they are, and you're looking at Jordan Staal in the vacuum of currently, probably explains why he's number 10. At number 9, with a score of 7.57, we have Erik Cole. And I'm not gonna lie, Erik Cole was the last person on my list. It was a debate between him or Teuvo Teravainen for the 10th greatest Hurricane of all time, and we ended up going with Erik Cole because he had a he was on the cup winning team back at 06, something that Teuvo did not do. So, but seeing him at number 9, kind of surprising.
I actually saw a fun fact about Erik Cole the other day. I believe he was traded to the Oilers one season, and then the next season the Hurricanes traded right back for him.
Really?
Yes, it was so funny.
So I think, and you might be able to back me up on this, and then the stats are going to be over here on this side of the video. I believe Erik Cole was the only person in this entire list that did not get at least a or maybe even 2 first place votes.
Yes, Erik Cole's the only person on the list that didn't get a first place vote.
I mean, that's not exactly. I mean, there are some people who voted Jordan Staal first place. That's what I want to know.
That's a great question.
He's not even the best Staal to play for the team, but we'll get to that later. All right, coming in 8th place with a score barely beating out Erik Cole of 7.54, Glenn Wesley.
I think that's another solid pick. I think it's a little overshadowed, of course, because of the time period, but very good defenseman. And he didn't really put up a ton of points, kind of a little bit like what Slavin is now. But I saw a stat line that said that Wesley only had 4 goals one season.
Oh, his jersey's retired, right?
I believe so. Yeah,
there's a reason for that. All right, so now we have a pretty big jump. And coming in at, what are we at now? 7th place with a score of 5.71, Mr. Game 7, Justin Williams.
I love Justin Williams.
I feel like anytime I think of Justin Williams, it's always in a feel-good story type of way. It's all the memories of Justin Williams are from the Stanley Cup final back in 06, or the Washington game winner, him being out there. So many good memories from Justin Williams. And that doesn't even include his 2 cups with the LA Kings, I believe he won.
Yep. He was with the LA Kings, and then I think he was with the Capitals for a little while.
But yeah, great Hurricane. Came back and played as our captain for a year before the captaincy was moved to Jordan Staal.
I think that was really cool.
All right.
Doing a full circle moment.
Yeah, full circle moment. And then we inducted him into the Hurricanes Hall of Fame. At some point, every single one of the players on this list will be in the Hurricanes Hall of Fame, I do believe, with maybe the exception of Erik Cole.
Yeah.
Coming in at number 6 with a score of 5.14, the best defensive defenseman in all of hockey right now, Jacob Slavin.
I mean, it's undisputed. He is just the greatest defensive defenseman right now. And I think that the reason he is at this spot is just because of the position that he plays. Yeah. We have no defenseman above him past this point. So this is the highest that he was going to get to, especially as not being that top scoring kind of guy.
Yep.
But that's just who Jacob Slavin is. He's not the guy for the most attention. He's just the guy that's going to be there and like lock up on defense.
Well, let's think about this. Jacob Slavin still has a long time left with the Canes with the contract he signed. So by the end of his career, I mean, he's definitely going to jump ahead of some of these guys, I feel like.
Possible.
I feel like he could easily finish as high as number 1. I mean, if the Canes finally break through and win a cup, and maybe by the time they do that, Jacob Slavin's the captain. Maybe. Who knows?
That's possible.
It'll be him. The captain for a Stanley Cup winning team, if it's not in the next 2 years, is one of 2 players that are on this list. Jacob Slavin or someone we're going to cover in a bit.
You know it.
Coming in at number 5 with a score of 4.62, the goalie and Conn Smythe winner, Cam Ward.
That man was insane. I just went over a little bit of his run from the 2006 season. He didn't play terribly awesome at first. His save percentage was 68 or something during the season.
Oh.
It was pretty bad, but let's keep in mind this was his rookie campaign. Yep. And he was moved in and out a little bit during the playoffs because some things happened. But once he was in, he just started to lock up and he played great. And that might have just been given to him just because, we didn't have a serious player that scored every single goal or it was too close between all of them. But Cam Ward definitely deserved that Conn Smythe. And after that rookie season, he started to just become one of the best goalies not one of the best goalie that the Canes have had in our history.
Easily. I mean, there's no other goalie in Canes history that even has close to the resume that Cam Ward has. I mean, we'll talk about recency bias. The second greatest Canes goalie of all time right now is probably Frederik Andersen.
Yeah,
based
probably.
off of playoff resume alone. All right.
Except his tenure's kind of short, but he's been great.
Coming in at number 4 with a score of 4.42, Sebastian Aho. And
I love Seabass.
This is the highest of any current player. And there is no doubt in my mind that Sebastian Aho will probably catch up to at least one of these players. The other 2 are pretty high up there, but Sebastian Aho, easily the best current Cane, probably will retire as the greatest Cane if he plays his whole hockey career here. Just one of the best, man. And I feel like he's still underrated in terms of the national media.
I agree.
For as much love as Alexander Barkov gets, I don't think Aho is I think Aho is maybe half step below him and never gets the recognition he deserves.
His clutchness is underrated big time.
People
are like, oh, he doesn't show up in the big moments or anything like that. He does show up in the big moments. He had 5 overtime goals last year. He had a bunch of game tying goals last year. He had overtime winners in the playoffs this year. He also had 2 goals in the first period of Game 5 versus Florida. This man was playing pretty insane in the big moments.
He had probably his best playoff run this past season, I think.
I think so.
All right, coming in at number 3 with a score of 4.17, we've got the arguable best player in Hurricane/Whalers franchise history, Ron Francis. Now, we did not clarify this in the Google form that we sent out. If you include the Hartford Whalers, Ron Francis is hands down the best player in franchise history. But we didn't clarify that, and so I think 3rd place is a good spot for him because Ron Francis was important in the beginning of the Hurricanes franchise, as well as I believe he was part of the team that went to the Cup in 2002.
I think so. I'm pretty sure he was because he came back after he went to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. So, I mean, Ron Francis, again, if you look at the Whalers numbers, he is one of the greatest players of all time in general. But sticking with Hurricanes, he still was one of the best Hurricanes ever. Just not as big of a sample size because that was towards the twilight end of his career.
And if you consider all the points that he scored with the Whalers and the Hurricanes, he has the most points in Hurricanes history.
Funny thing I'm going to bounce back to from earlier. Jordan Staal at the end of this year will have played more games as a Hurricane than any other player.
Who's he going to pass up?
Eric.
That's funny.
It's Eric and then someone else is in first, but I can't remember who it is. They might be on this list. They probably are on this list.
That's possible.
All right.
It's definitely not Cam Ward.
No. Coming in at number 2, and this was there's a pretty big gap between Francis and number 2. The player who I thought would probably get number 1 but did not, with a score of 2.88. Eric Staal, the arguable should have been Conn Smythe winner from 2006.
Eric Stahl, man, what do I even start? Like, this guy was just insane. I had the treat of getting to watch him at the alumni game this year.
That
Of course,
was
he's
so
old,
much fun.
but like, dude, watching all those guys out there just score and have fun, it was so awesome. And of course, I never got to see Eric Stahl like when he was with Carolina, like in person or on TV. But watching his highlights and seeing that some of the goals he scored and the leadership that he had, he's a great guy and one of the perfect guys for like Hurricanes organization history. And I think the only reason that he isn't number one is partially towards the end of his career, he starts moving teams.
I think I honestly wholeheartedly believe the reason Eric Stahl is not number one is because of the involvement in the organization of the number one player. I think if you look at it, for my money, in terms of a pure player, Eric Stahl is the best Hurricane of all time.
Yep.
That being said, the number one player as voted by you guys in Hurricanes history with a score of 2.48. Let me put that into perspective. You could vote 1 to 10 on players, and this player's score was less than 2.5 on average. The coach, the captain, the all-around just Carolina hockey, everything, Rod Brind'Amour.
I definitely think that he deserves this. He, after getting traded from Philly to Carolina, never went back and fully embraced this organization. And I mean, he fully embraced this organization. He went all the way through until he retired. And the year after he retired, he joined the coaching staff. First year, he was like VP of player operations. But he was assistant coach all the way until he became head coach from there on out. He has been part of the Canes organization since he was traded from the Philadelphia Flyers and has never looked back.
It could be recency bias and like outside bias, putting Rod Brind'Amour as the greatest Cane of all time. But I mean, Rod Brind'Amour has something that no other Hurricanes player can say they have, and that is the captaincy of a Stanley Cup winning team. Hopefully that changes, and one of Jordan Stahl, Jacob Slavin, or Sebastian Aho will have that in the next couple of years. But I mean, in terms of like pure leadership and what the person means to the organization, there is not a more fitting number one for the Carolina Hurricanes than Rod the Bod Brind'Amour.
My favorite is the picture of him when he's raising the cup too.
Yes. That is such a good picture. Hopefully, I mean, we'll see a remake of that maybe in the coming years as a coach, joining, I'm sure, what is an elite list of players and people that have won cups as a captain and a coach. I don't imagine there's too many people on that list. I could be wrong though, but Rod definitely has the makeup to be that.
Absolutely.
All right, so just running back through the list again. 10, we got Jordan Stahl. 9, Eric Cole. 8, Glenn Wesley. 7, Justin Williams. 6, Jacob Slavin. 5, Cam Ward. 4, Sebastian Aho. 3, Ron Francis. 2, Eric Stahl. And number 1, Rod Brind'Amour. So let us know down below if you guys didn't vote in the Google form. Who do you think should be the best Hurricanes player of all time? What current players on the roster now have a shot to crack the top 10 by the time their careers are over? Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to click the like button down below. And as always, guys, stay crazy and peace out.